was easy.
Getting to that finish line point where you actually start manifesting what you want in a very noticeable way. Hey guys, I'm Jasmine, and we're going to talk about mental diet, how to basically put yourself on a mental diet, no matter if you're trying to manifest a specific person or anything else. Mental diet is really, really essential, and I actually don't see many people who are actually succeeding in putting themselves on a mental diet. So I want to kind of be thorough about, what my routine is and a starting point if you're not really used to this, because it did take me years of practice to be good at this. But I will tell you what, mental diet is the way that you tip the scales when it comes to getting to that finish line point where you actually start manifesting what you want in a very noticeable way, as far as the way that you feel inside, your state, your feeling, your perception, your thoughts, and then seeing it manifesting on the outside as well. Mental diet is perhaps the missing piece for a lot of people, because what I do see a lot of people do is I see a lot of people doing the techniques, but they're not allowing the things that they're implementing to change the structure of the way that they actually go about their thought process on not only on the subject that you're trying to manifest, but on every subject in general. Like, it's just when you're trying to manifest something, especially if it's something that you feel like you're far away from, you are going to change a lot in your perception, in your beliefs, in the way that you feel about yourself and about life. The way that you feel, your demeanor, your perception, your state of being is going to change a lot. And what happens that I usually see is that people do the techniques to try to feel better for a little bit, and then they complain because they still don't have what they want. And there's this disconnect happening. So I'm going to help you connect the dots and connect those wires. If you do what I say in this video, it's going to get you to a point where you're able to be consistent in your thoughts and direct yourself deliberately towards your goals, so that instead of going up and down on like this roller coaster thing, like you improve a little bit and then like you fall and you don't know where you are anymore. No, like with this is going to take you all the way and help you be consistent and persistent until you get to past that finish line, right, of the manifestation. First, I just wanted to invite all of you guys to join my group on Facebook. I have that link below. I have a free group, and I also have a paid membership group where all we do is affirm and script, and I also put my affirmative rampage videos in that group on a regular basis. So there's some exclusive content in that group. I have both of those links below. And also, if you are signed up to receive the bonus written material, I've got a surprise for you. Now, I know that I did not release the bonus written material last week, but I'm actually going to be releasing a PDF form magazine style transcript of every single video. Okay, so like all of the important content in the video is going to be written for you. So if you have a hard time understanding me, even if you're hard of hearing, like it's all going to be written down for you. And I know that some people are more visual learners, or you like to read it or whatever. These magazine style transcripts are really beautiful. So if you're already signed up, you're going to be receiving that, and I will be sending out last week's transcripts as well for the videos from last week. And if you're not signed up, you can find that link below. Just enter your email and you will be receiving that. If you haven't already, click the like button, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for being here, and let's get into the video. I'm going to start from the very beginning. I have a spiritual background. I was spiritual for many, many years, and I think that I was kind of born spiritual. I was born with this extra ability to feel. I was born with existential intelligence, interpersonal and intrapersonal intelligence at like a genius level. And I think that it's really, really, really important that you learn how to feel and sense what's happening within you. And you learn to sense and feel and notice what you are thinking. So I would call this raising your awareness or your consciousness. Those are some very generic spiritual terms, but now we're calling it mental diet, okay? But I think that when you think about mental diet, you're not really realizing that you have to train yourself to be able to sense your feelings and your thoughts. This is a big part of it, and that's why meditation is so important, especially when you're just starting out. So if you're unhappy and you tend to go back to being unhappy, or if you're not able to stabilize yourself, if you're kind of unstable, you're happy sometimes and then you freak out, or if you're very conditional, like if you're very attached to circumstances and circumstances can throw you off, meditation is really, really good. So you can do two types of meditation. You can do the average, laying down, maybe listening to something, focusing on something like maybe music or a thought, meditate on love, meditate on peace, empowerment, or being okay. I talk about tapping into the feeling of empowerment in a video up here. I think it's a really, really important thing to meditate on and to tap into. But the most important thing is I think that you guys need to understand that it does take time to train yourself, and repetition and persistence and consistency and awareness to raise your consciousness and raise your awareness in a way where you're able to know what you are feeling and what you are thinking in a very fine-tuned sort of way. Mastery is about being aware, okay? Because if you don't know what you're thinking, you don't know what you're doing, and there's a lot of people who will say, I'm doing what you say in the videos and I'm doing the process and it's not working. That is an example of lack of awareness. If you are not getting the results that you want, but you think that you're doing the work, you cannot, that's an impossibility, okay? This is not an opinion. Like, I don't teach opinions. Everything that I teach is backed up by science. I do have videos on that. Here's my video on the science of manifesting, but that's a vibrational impossibility. Vibration just meaning like the energetic essence of a thing. If you find yourself unable to stabilize yourself or to stay stable, or if you're not really sure like how to take yourself to the next level, I would say practice meditation. The second way that you can meditate is a moving meditation, and I used to do this a lot. I would meditate for like weeks straight when I was trying to train myself to be able to feel my inner thoughts and my feelings on a moment-to-moment basis. Because basically, the more keen that your perception is of what's happening within you, because you're the only thing that matters. This is the only thing that matters, okay? Because everything else just reflects you. The more keenly aware you are of what you're doing inside, the more keenly that you can control the outside. And I think that's a big reason why I am able to manifest in a very controlled way, is because I can have a thought, and very, very early on, like the first thought, the first feeling, I know what is happening and I know what I'm doing, and I know if I want to support that thought or if I want to change that thought or that feeling, okay? I know which started first, the chicken or the egg. I know if it was the thought or the feeling. I know if it was, observing something that set something off within me. I can trace it all back. And the only reason is because I've trained myself to be aware of myself. So train yourself to be aware of yourself, either by using a regular form of meditation or a moving meditation where you go on a walk, work out, or whatever it is that you want to do, yoga maybe, where you're just really, really focusing on what am I feeling, what am I thinking, what am I feeling, what am I thinking, what am I feeling, what am I thinking. Eckhart Tolle is really good at this particular subject, so go ahead and read one of his books and do what he says. I've read his books many times, and I was using them when I was training myself, okay? And when I do come out with a course, which I will be coming out with, this is going to be the first thing that I'm going to cover, because if you don't know what you're doing, we have nothing to talk about. If you don't know what you're doing, you can't control yourself, you can't be deliberate, and you're not going to be able to manifest deliberately at all. You do need to be aware of yourself, and the more that you train yourself to be aware of yourself, the more that you're going to be able to clean house and change your thoughts and be deliberate and manifest what you want. All right, now that we've covered that, when it comes to forming a mental diet and really being on a mental diet for yourself, you want to have a goal, okay? So you can watch my 5-step process in video 1. I'll have the link right here to help you come up with a specific goal for yourself. And there's 3 things that need to align with this that are in that video, okay? I'm gonna have all the links below of all the videos that I recommend. When you're coming up with a goal, your affirmation or your declaration, your affirmation of what you want, whatever you decide it is that you want, the words involved in that, any pictures involved in that, and any feeling involved in that, those 3 things need to align, okay? So just make sure that you're checking all those 3 things whenever you get clear and decide on what it is that you want to manifest, even if that's just manifesting a state. Like, I would like to manifest a state where I know that I'm a badass, awesome manifester and I'm a master at this and I really know what I'm doing. There might be thoughts involved with that in the form of words. There might be feelings involved with that, and there might be pictures involved with that, okay? So you want to make sure those 3 things agree and align. That's in video 1. Once you have your goal and you know how to practice the declaration or affirmations, the pictures and the feelings, you want to make sure that you're not contradicting your good work. You could do really good manifestational work by like using techniques, and then you could come out of the meditation or come out of the visualization or stop doing the affirmation, and then you go back to your normal everyday regular thoughts, which are completely contradictory, and you're not actually moving your state like so that your goal is becoming normal to you. So this is what a lot of people are doing. It's kind of like living a double life. Like, so you're living in the end, but then when you're not doing the technique, you're acknowledging that that thing hasn't happened yet. I wonder when it's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. So it's like you're trying to live in 2 different worlds. Well, here's what needs to happen if that's one of your troubles. You need to actually allow the story to change in your mind in a logical way so that you're not having 2 different stories going on. When you're practicing a mental diet and when you have goals and when you're visualizing and embodying the essence of the existential reality that you want to experience, the universe is going to give you evidence and signs and information that are going to help you change your story to the story that you want, to make that story of what you want much more logical to you. So this happens in bits and pieces throughout your day. Now that you're fostering conscious awareness and you're being aware of your thoughts, you want to, whenever you're thinking a contradictory thought, which is very subtle, so you might need to really pay attention for this. I normally, on a regular basis, it's my normal everyday moment-to-moment routine to, pay attention to my thoughts and monitor myself. And if I'm not feeling great, like, feel better, like do something to feel better in that moment, or what am I thinking, or, that's my normal thing for me. Eventually, this does become a normal thing for you, where you're able to do this routinely and it's easy because it's that important if you want to be a deliberate creator instead of a default creator, sleepwalker, right? I know when I'm coming into this, when I'm manifesting something, I know that the story of what I want needs to become logical to me on an everyday moment-to-moment basis. So if I want to believe that my specific person wants to be with me and nobody else, and that he loves me more than anybody else, and that he always did, the universe is going to help me by giving me memories that help put that picture together for me. It's going to help me by help me logic the whole story in my mind of why that story is true and why that story is normal, okay? Allow this to happen. Make sure that you're not practicing 2 different stories. Know for yourself that every piece of information that I need is going to come to me. The picture is going to become very clear to me. I'm going to have a logical story that supports what I want. Just know those things. You want to be really consistent with your mental diet. So make sure that throughout the day, you're using that awake time to weed out any beliefs that are contradictory, and then you change them when you identify them, okay? And if you're not able to change them when you identify them because it's just feels too difficult, like you believe it too much to change it, you have a little bit more work to do as far as getting into a state where you're able to change around those beliefs, okay? So if you're not able to change a belief, then just imagine yourself in a state where you're mastering manifesting and you are able to change your story in a very logical way to you. Just know that's going to happen. Well, I don't have to worry about that right now, because I know that that is going to make complete and total sense to me, because the universe, me as the universe, is going to bring me clarity on that very logical story of what I want that is unfolding, you know. So just know that these things are going to come to you and that it's happening. There's no rush. There's nothing to worry about ever. So there's never any rush. There's never anything to worry about, because if you know that something is happening, if I know the milkman is on his way to my house right now, I am not going to be worried about milk, even though he's not here. I'm still not going to be worried about it. I'm actually going to feel pretty content and satisfied. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to have an optimistic anticipation as I look into my future. I'm going to feel safe. I'm going to feel calm. I'm going to feel okay. I'm going to feel secure. I'm going to feel like my needs are met, you know. Take care to make sure that you feel satisfied and fulfilled and content, and that you know that your needs are met. The most powerful practice, and this is from Bentino, the most powerful practice is knowing that it is done. And sometimes when I'm manifesting something, I notice the things that I manifest really, really quickly are things that I just know that it's done. I just go straight to the end, and I just have my story. That's the story, and I don't deviate from that. I don't contradict it. There's no other story. There's no other picture, and I just go straight to that. I'll tell you a story, for instance. This is how it goes down. So I have a daughter. She's like 2.5. I kind of always wanted to put her in like a Montessori type school thing, but like they always have really long waiting lists, like years long waiting lists, and they tended to be like really expensive. I kind of always knew that I was going to put her in one of these schools. At the moment, I had her in just a regular daycare, and it seemed to be fine for like building, you know, certain skills and social skills, and it seemed to be fine for the time being. So anyways, she starts deciding that she doesn't like the place that I have her in, okay? She doesn't want to go to that daycare anymore. Every day I would take her, and she would say, no, I don't want to go. And so within a couple of weeks, I was like, okay, like I'm going to find you another school. Like I promise, you know, I'm going to find you another daycare. I just decided one day that I was not going to take her back to that daycare. I just knew that I wasn't going to take her back to that daycare. And I said to myself, I was like, I'm not going to take her back to that daycare. I'm going to find the one that I like a lot. I'm going to find a daycare or a school that I like a lot, and it's going to have immediate availability. And I was just declaring that, and I knew that, and there was just no other contradictory thought anyway. Like that was the way that it was going to be, period, because I'm not taking her to somewhere that she doesn't like, right? Okay. So I put that out. What ended up happening was I made this decision before the weekend, and I think I tried to call over the weekend, but of course they were closed. I just kind of Googled, and I saw like the first thing on Google was like some sort of like school learning center thing, and I was like, that looks good. It looked really, really good, and they actually had a curriculum and everything. I called them. This was a school for ages like 6 months to like 5 or 6 years. And I was like amazed, because I never knew that there was actually a school for those ages, but this was actually a school. I spoke to them, and that same day I took her there, I registered her, and she started the next day. I manifested exactly what I wanted. And then even when I got her enrolled in that school, her father told me that he looked into that school and that they had a 2-year waiting list. So he doesn't even know how I manifested that. And then when I asked them about it, they said they didn't have a waiting list. I don't know, but like I manifested that. I manifested the perfect school that I wanted for her. That was like even more than I thought was available. And they had immediate availability, and she never had to go back to the other place, because I made a powerful decision. The most powerful thing that you can do is make a powerful decision. Now, here's the thing, is that you're not going to be able to just jump up and make a powerful decision. It takes preparation, vibrational state of being preparation, for you to even be able to make a powerful decision. You start doing your mental diet. You start doing the vibrational work. You start getting in the vicinity and getting yourself stable and getting yourself empowered and getting yourself strong and coming into the feeling of freedom and expansion and being okay and being peaceful and knowing that your needs are taken care of and knowing that you're okay and safe and secure and all those things. My needs are met. My needs are met. My needs are met. You know, like that feels very good. So you get yourself kind of used to that, and then you'll be in a position where you're inspired to make a very powerful decision that leads to your manifestation. But allow it to unfold. And your mental diet is going to unfold for you. So there is no need to beat yourself up when you're not doing something right, because when you beat yourself up, you're just doing the opposite. Like, you're not learning. When you're beating yourself up, you're not doing better, you're not improving, and you're not learning, and you're not changing your habit, okay? Because beating yourself up is part of the list of things that you're doing this mental diet for, so that you'll stop doing that, right? Because we all know that you're not supposed to beat yourself up. So there's never a reason to feel bad about yourself if you feel like you're not doing this correctly. I catch myself all the time, and I correct myself all the time. And all I do is I look at it very non-judgmentally, and I just look at everything as feedback and information, okay? So if I become aware of a thought that I've been having that I see as a thought that is negative, then I will look at that and I'll be like, oh, I was thinking that thought. Okay, that's the problem. Bam, turn it around, and now we're good. I am very grateful for the awareness that I gain. Okay, so be very grateful for the awareness that you gain all along the way. You will make more progress, and you will be able to see more, and you'll be able to correct more, and that will help you more than anything else. So if you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe below. I am available for coaching. I have that link below for you guys, and I will see you in the next video.
That was easy.